Great, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the conversation we've been having with Mr. Erastus Ofula. I see your feedback. I'll be sampling it at the end of the show, but keep it coming at Grace Career KE, at KTN News KE. Sir, I need us to carry on with the conversation, but I needed to ask, all this while, since the 23rd of August 2018, and you've already explained, your wife was at times in and out of consciousness. Did she say a word at any point? And also, how were the children? How was it for them all that while?
Okay. After 6 months, she started muting some words. She started murmuring some words, and they were all cohesive. We could understand one another, and it all depended with the mood she was. And then that was when she was in the HDU, and she was transferred to the general ward, and it reached a point where she just kept quiet. But the most encouraging thing is initially when I told the kids the mom was just sick, she was going to come back to home soon. I did not think it was going to last that long. But at some point, my son Regan is very inquisitive, 12 years old. It is very difficult to hide these issues, some of these issues from him, because I remember I hid it for him close to 1 month. And one day he just came in the house and threw his bag on the sofa and confronted me and told me, "Dad, Mama may suffer stroke." Then I did not have words to say to him, but I just called him in the bedroom and I tried to explain to him, yes, it is true, she has suffered stroke, but the doctors are taking good care of him, and he's going to be well. So this thing really disturbed him. I remember even at some point the class teacher called me, and I explained to him everything.
What class was he in?
He's in class 6, Olerai Primary.
Oh, okay.
And I explained to him everything, and the teacher took a very great step in trying to console him, and after some time, he accepted it. The other one, 3-year-old, Shama Otieno, he still does not, he's not understanding. He knows the mom is sick, he's in hospital, and he's going to come back.
Okay.
But my son Regan, it has made him to be very strong, and I could see even he has taken over some of the responsibilities, like taking care of the sibling when the house help is not around, and it has made him come out stronger than I even thought. Yes.
Okay. So you promised your son that soon mommy would come back home.
Yeah.
And end of January, she did come home.
Yes.
But in the same state, sort of.
Yeah.
Just take us through that.
When somebody is on bedridden, or I would say these diseases are suffering from an ailment that lasts long, the hospital facilities have got their own way of managing these situations. And part of the physiotherapy is in between when the patient shows some signs of recovery and being a mother, and the motherly instincts. The biggest challenge is that could prevent her from recovering is she does not know how her kids are or in what situation. So the doctors managed, before she was discharged, the doctors used to organize for every week, every weekend. They organize for secluded places. Kids below 12 years are not allowed in hospital. So they could organize for secluded places, a secluded place whereby we could go sit with the mom, and she could sit with the kids. And this really helped her recover very quickly, because she knew now her kids are safe. And by the time she was coming home, the kids were already used to seeing her in that state. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now, there's some pictures that have been coming up on your screen, and I believe we'll be having them shortly, because I want you now to take us through the photos there. because this is when now after, she came home
Yeah.
and you took care of her in that state. And
Yeah.
I'll be asking why. I know you made vows, it's always in sickness and in health
Yeah.
until death do us part.
Yeah.
I'll be asking about that, but I want you to take us through those photos on our screens now, sir.
Yeah, that one, that is our bedroom. I had converted it into a hospital, and that is my niece who also does nursing, was feeding her, and this is our sitting room, part of the, and that is my niece, who's that is my sister who is feeding her in hospital. That was when we were in Nairobi hospital, and part of it is they require somebody. That was her graduation in Kemu, Kemu University in Meru. Yeah, and
We'll be seeing more.
Yeah.
That one has taken quite a while. That's you.
Yeah, that one was when we were in the sitting room, and I was trying to comfort her that everything is going to be well. Yeah, and it's also part of the physiotherapy.
Yeah.
She needs. That is my niece, who was feeding her in our bedroom.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, sir, just allow me to ask, because even some of our viewers are really curious, because you stood by her until the last day, until the day she took her last breath, sir.
Yeah.
And as I did say, when you're getting married, they're the vows, until death do us part.
Yeah.
But most times people part ways even without illness, people just part.
Yeah.
But you stayed by her. Why? Why did you choose to do that?
First of all, I'd like to assure viewers that my marriage was not made in heaven. It had its parts of challenges.
Yes.
And the most important thing is to know how to solve your issues amicably without having any drama. And I would say the way we were brought up when we were kids, we were brought up in an environment of love. And I used to see the way our dad used to take care of us, because my mom literally is somebody she's a lady who decided to stay up country, a better part of her life. And my dad used to be a journalist with the NTV. So I could see my dad literally when we were kids. He used to shuttle in between home and Nairobi to balance between the two families. And when I was a kid, I remember our dad used to have this undying love for our mom, and she could provide he provided everything we needed, and I have borrowed heavily from him. And being brought up in a cohesive Christian loving environment, I wouldn't say that it is a talent. It is something inherent in us. So, and the other thing is my mom and my dad, specifically my mom, is somebody whom, you don't just take a lady and call her your girlfriend, and then after 2 days or after 1 month you give her a call that you've dumped this lady. She's very, 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 very strict.
Yeah.
And I think these are some of the things that have really shaped me to what I am, until when I met Roslyn, the late Roslyn, and decided to marry her, and I said I'm going to stick by her. Yes.
And you stuck by her.
I stuck by her.
But I also assume, sir, that at some point it wasn't easy.
Yes. Of course, there are those incidences where things like you start questioning God, why me? And this is where now real friends come in. The friends whom I had, they were really giving me comfort and the courage to soldier on. And my biggest friends are my two sons. As I told you, Regan is somebody I would say who lives one day at a time. He tells you, he used to come and tell me every day, Daddy, everything is going to be okay. Don't worry. Mom is going to be okay. And when I look at my late wife, he's given birth to two handsome boys. Wow. And I could not even imagine having to let her go just because she's sick. And basically it's about your personal conviction that you have to be committed to a particular path or a particular challenge that God has created in your way. And furthermore, God does not give you a burden that
you cannot overcome.
You cannot overcome.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Again, let me ask about the children, because especially your firstborn Reagan, you speak so fondly of him.
Yeah.
But remember, as a dad, you told them mommy would come home.
Yeah.
And yes, she did.
Yes.
And you told them that mommy would get well.
Yeah.
But over time, things are not looking that great.
Yeah.
Are they asking more questions?
Yeah. Okay. It's like also they had resigned to the mom's situation. They had resigned their fate to the mom's situation and kind of gotten used to it. And the only thing they would do is like Regan and the young one, they would occasionally before he goes to school, he has to check on the mom. And when he comes back at some point, he also used to do homework on her mom's bedside. And I think he also resigned to his fate, as I told you, that things are going to work out.
Yeah.
And this whole situation basically has it even made him be stronger, and these days he's very committed to church. Yeah, and he also he says a little prayer. I was surprised the other day when the teachers from Olerai came in, and the class teacher told me that every morning he has to go in front of the class and give the other pupils a brief of how the mom is doing. Up to the last time when the last day she succumbed to her illness, she told them that mom had been to the hospital for the review, and things are working well, and sooner or later she's going to be on her feet. Yeah.
Okay. July 3rd.
Yeah.
What happened?
So unfortunately, death has got a very funny way of cheating you. As I told you, we had gone for a review. That was on 1st of this month, and basically I told the doctors to do all the tests necessary so that we can know which step where we are heading from there. And funnily enough, the results came out negative, as in all the vitals were working well. The blood level had gone down. Blood level is whereby they look at the blood clots, the level at blood clots. Initially, when we took her to the hospital, they were at 5,000, but now they had reduced to almost a half, 2,100, and that was a very good indication that everything was coming up well. So the only problem is she had a rough chest, which they gave her some antibiotics. So she came home, and she slept as usual. On Tuesday, she woke up, the caregiver did the cleaning, cleaned her, and gave her, normally she takes porridge in the morning, and she took a full cup. And Tuesday the weather was very nice, and I decided we took her to the balcony to bask in the sun, because most of the time she's asleep and covered, and she needs the energy from the sun. And everything, even on Tuesday, everything worked on well. And come Wednesday, okay, in the evening I was really disturbed, because at some point I could see it's like she was stooping very low. She was stooping her head, and I couldn't quite figure out. And I said maybe it's because of her condition. And these are some things you brush off, because I'm now used to her being in that state. So, but one common feature I could see from her was she was rolling her eyes. And when I asked her why she's doing that, I had a way of communicating. I had already been trained by the doctors. When I ask her something, I see how she's communicating using the eyes. I could tell this is what she's saying, this is what. So when I asked her that, she blinked twice. She said, okay, blinking, basically when she blinks twice, she said, it means that she's okay. And she looked at me and closed her eyes. And I assumed that maybe she was just tired. She went to sleep. And come evening again, when she was being given dinner, she did the same. And my house help got scared. She called me in to come and see why Mama Regan was, sorry, we call her Mama Regan, Rosalind was doing that. And I told her, she also did that to me, but I did not see any, I don't think if there's any danger. So we slept, but I did not sleep very well. I actually was very disturbed. So when I woke up in the morning, that was on Wednesday, I looked at, I checked on her because I was just reporting to my news station of work. Okay, I was reporting to my news station of work. And when I looked at her, she was okay. And I proceeded to go to work. And she took her porridge as usual and everything. And the physiotherapist came in to do his session. After that, the physiotherapist called me and told me, you need to call a doctor. I don't think if Mama Regan is breathing well. And I told her, I just brushed him off. I told him, I don't think if there's any danger, because I've already been given the medicine because she had that problem for breathing. Before that, after that, again, he called me and I told him, I just got curious, called the caregiver and I told her to go check on Mama Regan. She told me that she's okay, she's only sleeping. After 30 minutes, she again went back to check on her. And the worst news came in. I could see the way they were playing with words. Initially, even the physiotherapist knew what had happened, but how to break it, how to break the news to me was disturbing. But I called in the driver, told him to go to the house and the house help is going to give her the keys to take Rosalind to hospital. But the driver told me, he confirmed the worst, that he had already passed on. She passed on in her sleep. And I did my best and I released her soul. She is in peace. Even where she is, she knows I did my best.
You did, sir. You did. We'll be wrapping up in a few. But it's just a few days. Today is 7. Right? It's just like 4 days. Just how has this 4 days been for you and the children?
Initially, we were disturbed on how to break the news to the big one because he was very optimistic.
Yes. He told us even what he used to do in school.
Exactly. But as I told you, where I stay, we have good neighbors. So one of my neighbors opted to go pick the kids from school and take them to her house. She shifted. She's in her own compound, and we told them that until things are going to calm down, is when they can come in the house. So Regan came in. The kids came in at around 8, 9 there, and curiosity. They walked straight to the bedroom, and they found the bedroom empty, and Regan came and asked me, where's mom? So I tried to lie to him that he's in hospital, he's just gone, she's in hospital, she's just gone for a checkup. And after the visitors were thronging in to send their condolences and what have you. So after finishing that is when I called him in the bedroom and I told him, I'm sorry, Regan, we have lost the battle. So he stood, he stared at me for close to 30 seconds, and he told me that, Daddy, it is well. Let mom rest. And it really disturbed him that night. And in the morning, he came in strong and he told me what could have happened. He was asking, he was very curious, but I was just candid with him. This is life. And God is the one who gives and God is the one who takes, and we cannot question some of his decisions. And he's so much into he's so much into church. And I appreciate my neighbor Lea Muihaki, who when my wife got sick, took Regan to church and basically took Regan as her own son. This has really helped mold him. So after that, we had family meetings, and Regan just walked in and told people that, Dad, don't worry, we are going to be together in this journey. Yeah.
So
And
it is.
I'm going to take care of the young one. That's it. And since then, he's been addressing even the crowds that are coming home to send their condolences and to pay their last respects to mom. And I would say God is great. He has given us the strength to carry on. And yes, I'm going to take care of my family as if the mom was there. And I make sure that they have everything. They have everything that that was being provided as if the mom was there. So the same vow I said that I'm going to take care of, my wife is the same vow I'm vowing that I'm going to take care of my kids. And I know where the mom is. He's very proud of me knowing that the kids are in safe hands.
That's true.
Yeah.
It is well, sir, and we stand with you, and may God be with you and the children.
Yeah.
But you're yet to lay her to rest, right?
Yes. What we've done is we've opened a pay bill. It's pay bill number 671328 to help us defray the funeral expenses. And we are hoping that people are going to chip in, my friends, relatives, to help us give Rosalind Mumu a befitting send-off.
Okay, if you could just take the pay bill number again, sir, for someone who probably didn't get it.
Okay, the pay bill number is 671328. Yeah.
671328, the
Yes.
pay bill number there. Just kindly assist in any way you can. And once again, sir, we stand with you. You're a strong man.
Yeah.
Lots of positive feedback coming in for you, and just stand strong for yourself and for your children.
Thank you
and
very much.
as you said in your own words, sir, wherever your wife is, she's really proud of her. And even as Kenyans, we're proud of you. You stood by her, because as I said, there are so many people who leave even without illness, but you chose to stay, and we saw you taking care of her.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you. And before we wrap up, there's a lot of positive feedback, overwhelming feedback. At Pondipa says, God give him strength. I saw the video before his wife passed on. Such men are rare. Condolences to him and the family. Emenye Prong says, I saw how you're managing your wife's situation, and I was wowed. Great spirit, great love. He speaks in his mother tongue. I don't understand that bit, but he says, may God bless you. Mwirigi Onesmus says, what a man to emulate. He never left her. And maybe finally a last one here from Salome Ngonyo Kimani, who says, may her soul rest in peace. This is a true man who vowed to stay with his wife for better, for worse. He's an example to many men outside here. So
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us today on Beyond the Scars. So that's where we end today's conversation. Thank you so much for all the feedback, overwhelming feedback. We appreciate it. Remember the pay bill number 671328. Just support the family of Mr. Erastus Ofula. Thank you so much for tuning in at 11 a.m. Inside Politics with Ben Kitili, and 1 p.m. Weekend at 1. My name is Grace Kuria. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you.